Ndị be anyị ekeneni m unu n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị sị na ya dịrị ndị Igbo na mma. Dịka o si dị, ihe a bụ Igbo Media ka anyị si wee na-ewetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa gbasịta maka ana Igbo and Igbo community and ihe debe na Nigeria. Ya bụ ife ka anyị na-ewetara unu na Igbo Media. Dịka isi wee na-esole anyị, ọ bụ na nke a bụ ụbọchị izizi gị ị na-abịa n'ilu akwụkwọ na Igbo Media, kabaru ka i subscribe and turn on your notification ka ị lapụ miss any of our update dịka anyị na-etikwu ya n'ilu akwụkwọ kwa mgbe. Dịka o si dị, o nwere ya wetara n'ụbọchị nke taa gbasịta maka ka ya bụ ife si ada and gbasịta maka ka ya bụ ife si akpọtụ n'ala Igbo. Biko mma achọ ka ige ya bụ ife. Ihe a bụ Biafran Prime Minister MAZI Simon Ekpa. O nwere ife okwu n'ilu akwụkwọ mma achọ ka unu ga-esi ya bụ ife ọ na-adọrọpụrụ anyị ifu nche n'ilu akwụkwọ gbasịta maka ihe ndị a niile okwu. Alright, over to you, sir.
For kidnapping their own citizen in Kenya. And not only that, even their own citizen is still languishing in the DSS dungeon in Nigeria. And there is nothing have been done. Money have changed hand. Nigeria have bribed all of them and nobody can talk. So we are not looking for that kind of system to continue to live in that kind of system. So what we are doing is that after this Finland convention, where a lot of things will be unveiled, in alliances will be signed and all that, we will go into the next stage. As our lobbies are educating the United States policymakers, we will be busy delegitimizing Nigeria within Biafra land until our voice is heard by the highest authority. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prime Minister, Mr. Simon. Mr. President, any comments on that? And also, I would like to bring a comment from our audience. That was, I think, I displayed it earlier, and just bring it back to the stage so you can comment on that also, Mr. President, Mr. G. Not reading any comment from the Eritreans. So this is, I think, a big question. You on mute, Mr. G.
You're on mute. Unmute.
Is it a question? Says not reading any comments from the Eritreans. Say it all. Go and find them.
I mean, if you want comment on that,
okay.
I would say, it's not. I don't know.
What to comment
but
on
if
that.
you any comments on what? Prime Minister.
Number one, I mean, everything he said, I agree with, especially, on the differences, on the similarities. What sort of governments, what they do to our people. Yes, Africa is not poor. Africa is rich. But a lot of resources has been misused and abused, and with so many corrupted people managing our resources. I want to wish them success on their upcoming convention or conference in Finland. Unless the sky is falling apart, transitional Eritrean government in exile intends to be there. No surprise. We may even have some surprise of our own. So I think going forward, we are really to work together, and we are consulting with each other to become very, very powerful and support for each other. We just had our convention less than 2 weeks ago. As Elias said, he was in Ethiopia. That means we found us another friend in the African nation of Ethiopia. Why in Ethiopia? Well, we only go to places or countries that allows you. Can't just go, if come tomorrow, whether Djibouti, Somaliland, Sudan, or others. If they allow us or if they invite us to do the convention with heartbeat, without any hesitation, yes, we'll accept the offer and do the conference wherever they allowed us. So in the conference, believe it or not, it was successful and more than what we expected. all these small factions, it is well known, our problem is our fragmentation. We fight for the same reason, our goal is the same, but everybody trying to push the table from every different, maybe 10 angles, and the table not moving anywhere. Therefore, knowing this, those small groups, they were receptive to begin with, and we kind of consolidated to create one central command. It is amazing. This is the largest population of Eritrean youth, over 300,000. And the next one would be in Uganda. All these are victims of exodus or running from the military, lifetime militarism in other sense. So they agree to come under our tent, which means we are building that team one step at a time. They agreed to come together. This was a big success and a historical milestone. It never happened before. We enter into a conference peacefully and conclude peacefully. But this was one in the history. In the previous occasions, there were several conferences, including in Ethiopia, and they just came out splitting more with no success. So this is not simple achievement. We have achieved a great deal. And not only that, the Ethiopian government primarily and the people of Ethiopia would like to thank them for allowing us. And because of them also, we were able to consolidate our people. There is one indigenous group from the Afar group, and they were the whole Afar group was in our team, which means under one leadership, we can make it happen. Some of these ideas, which is based on democratic principles, yes, we can incorporate them. Yes, we can make them inside our family. Yes, we can make them inside our tent in order for all of us to live in peace and harmony. Yes, little bit of stuff that we need today is in order to overthrow this government. After that, everything can follow. Yes, so many things can be done ahead in order to comfort our people. So they all need to come in this tent, even those all groups. The political powers, we need to come under one tent if we want to succeed. If we are really feeling the pain of our people, yes, we have to set aside our egos, our personal interests. Yes, we need to come in this transitional Eritrean government in exile. Yes, come and help us. Come advise us. Come support us. But if come the worst, you couldn't do all of the above, at least stay out of the way. You need to stay off at our way. We need to win. For that reason, with this occasion, I want to call on all of you to come in, to come and join us. With that in mind, I would say thank you, and that also concludes my comment on that Biafran conference. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. President, any comments on the question that I just put on the screen? Would you say any comment? Otherwise, I'll go to Mr.
Is that the same comments that you wrote, Mr. KJ?
No, that is not me. That is from the audience.
But I don't know. I have a hard time to understand the question. I don't know if it is a.
Let me respond to that comment.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. You see, that comment is one of the comments. Some of the comments you get in a situation like this. And what does that tell you? It tells you that people are with you. Majority of them are with you, and they like what you are doing. So there is no need for them coming here to comment, ask questions. It is something we also face in our own struggle. So people don't come and start talking when they already know what you are doing. Just like we have said it before, that we are not hiding anything, and actually, not hiding anything is the reason why many people will come to just, what do you have for us today? What is the development? What is the next level? What is the next step? That's what people are. Once you are very, very connected with the people, they don't need to ask you a question. It's only those who are coming now who have realized that, oh, maybe we have been going the wrong way for a very long time, and they decided to come back, because you left them behind and they don't care to know what was going on. So now they want to ask questions. These are kind of the people that will come to make such comment, because they are never part of the movement. They are those who dine with the enablers. They're either directly or indirectly, and they support those who are, destroying the life and the future of the people. So those kind of comments is not something we should even be addressing. I'm just telling you that many people who are interested in having a future, a better future, and have followed the event from the beginning will not waste their time to ask questions, because you have not hidden anything from them. Everything is in the open. And I like the freedom fighting of open book. That's exactly what we do in Biafra. There is nothing I'm doing today that is not out there, because we are fighting for a nation. There is nothing to hide, except some kind of high level of meeting that you will have, and you want to keep it secret. But every other thing should be open, because the people you are trying to liberate and trying to give a better future should be following to know whether this is going to work and what they should be expecting, or is it going to be a government of gangster and all that. So I think the comment here says it all. He said, not reading any comment from Eritrean says it all. Go and find them. It was actually from a very wrong perspective, because it shows that people don't have any concern, and they have been following him for a very long time. Yes, except if you are coming today and you don't know what he has been doing. That's when you are going to ask questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prime Minister.
Well, thank you for supporting. Thank you for answering the question. I think the comments will get a lot, and a lot of the moments, even our government, the authoritarian government, normally we don't get any good comments. The people with full heart, they know what we're doing. I think they are very happy with us, and he's welcome also to give his own comment. You don't need to wait for others to respond. But however, regardless, these days, I do copy a little bit from the Prime Minister, and that is when you have a job to do, we're not going to back down. Talk is talk.
Yes.
Talk is cheap. Either act or get out of the way. Either act or get out of the way. Because we're not asking you, we target the government, for God's sake. And what we do, it also involves you. Our efforts does include you. We are not really trying to retaliate, do anything wrong. But however, yeah, there's going to be some reconciliation. Yes, we are not going to jail you. Therefore, whatever you say, in our case, you are not our target. And we don't want to be your target. If we have enemy, let's fight that enemy in any way you can, and allow us to fight in the way we know. So because of that, whatever been said, for God's sake, I only say, I do excuse my people. If I am fighting against the tyrant and someone don't like that, it is going to be what they call damn, just damn. There's nothing else I can say. But thank you, Prime Minister.
Thank you very much.
I just want to add a quick comment that I agree exactly with the Prime Minister
Yes,
said.
that's what I would like to
Yeah.
to hear, Mr. Elias, and also as an advisor to these two governments, also what to see. And I don't blame this comment, because in fact he's asking where are the Eritreans, and I think this is a question that all of us have to find an answer, and especially Mr. Elias, you are learning more and a lot also today, so this will be, I think, a good start for you.
No, this is a learning experience for me. I just want to go to your point. I just want to say I agree exactly with what the Prime Minister said. Usually, let's say people who are already supporting President Badarai don't necessarily come on to make gratuitous comments, right? They already know him and they know what he's trying to do and what the agenda is. Oftentimes when comments are made, it's to be provocative because, you know, these people are, as the prime minister said, working with the enablers or the other side. So if you go on social media, for example, first of all, you know, the President Badarai is the most talked about opposition leader as the transitional president on social media. Everyone, whether it's supporters of President Badarai or the enemies of President Badarai, he's the #1 topic. Isaias Afwerki himself, through his information, Yemeni Meskel, attacked President Badarai and attacked our lobbying efforts and the people we're meeting with. So, you know, there's plenty of commentary out there on President Badarai. You know, he's the most talked about person right now. And I agree with the prime minister. If his supporters aren't making comments, it's because they already know, you know, what he's doing, and they know his agenda. You know, it's not necessary to make a comment. And you know, a lot of the comments on social media about President Badarai are from the enemy, from opponents, from the people who are supporting the dictator. So, you know, oftentimes it's the people who are against you who like to come out and make the crazy comments. So I just wanted to, that's a long way to say I agree with what the prime minister said. His assessment is spot on. The air train, as the president has said, the smaller air train groups have consolidated behind him, and he's getting the support, you know, given what we're doing. And so I'm very excited about, you know, moving forward. You know, I hope we can work with the air train community to educate them about the way forward. I think the prime minister has done a tremendous job in terms of showing the way for the Biafran people, providing leadership. I think one of the commonalities, if I may, between the president and the prime minister is that their leadership has given direction to their people who were previously mired by issues of the infighting, the backstabbing, and so forth. And I think that's the commonality where you had a group, they weren't sure what to do, and then you have the leaders, and they're providing the direction, and the people are coming behind them. So I think both President Badarai and the prime minister are visionary African leaders. They're the ones who are providing that vision, which is mobilizing their people. So it's an honor to work with both of them, and I think we'll have a lot of success moving forward.
Good point, Mr. Elias. And as we begin wrapping up the show, I would like to thank you guys for attending our program. I'm glad to have such intellectual active leaders on the program. Looking forward to seeing the achievements and changes you guys bring to the people and the future of the countries, both the Eritrea and Biafra. As we say in farewell to our amazing guests, we will have more guests in the future, maybe talking on the same issue, and we will follow also. We will talk about Biafra. We will talk about the issues that matters, and don't forget to stay tuned and subscribe on YouTube to Galet Media. If any comments before ending this program, I would love to hear from you, respective guests.
I think I would briefly, I simply want to say thank you to Mr. Elias and Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. As I say early on, this is the beginning of so many good stuff to come in the future. Let's kind of expedite our fight, regardless of what or where it has been said. I think we have the good heart for our people. Yes, we have a good heart to follow our guts into getting things done. I always believe unless we become more pragmatic, action-oriented, nothing can get done in this world. The time that we sacrifice is the time of our families, the time of our lives. And we decided also to do it in a full-time basis. This requires a lot of sacrifice, for God's sake. Therefore, for those who does not understand, it is okay. But for those who understand, we appreciate your support always. We are going forward. There is no point of return right now until we get the solution, and that is heading home. I always say, consider us like we are a big ocean. Bring your boats, bring your ships. Let's sail home. We're going to go together. In that in mind, I will give you the biggest hope also for the people back home. I'm sure this show will go also to back home in Eritrea. So for the people, I want to encourage you. I want to give you hope. Yes, it can be done. Yes, we're going to change it. But that change requires the need of both of us. We do our effort from abroad, from the diaspora, to put that pressure needed in a diplomatic and political aspect of it. Yes, we're going to expect you to sacrifice, to rise up, wise up. And for the military of Eritrea, as I be calling you all the time, you are the military of the people, of the country, not of a private entity. Putting that in mind, this is the time for all of us to have a joint force in order to get rid of this menace, not only for Eritrea, but for the whole neighbors. So it is time. We cannot take it any longer. We have had enough for 33 years. No election, no constitution. This is unheard of. And we allowed it. We have to take responsibility. So let's work on our side rather than just blaming the government. If we want to overthrow it, join the action. Not simply talking on the social media. With that in mind, I am very thankful to be here, and I'm thankful for my guests also, Mr. Prime Minister Simon and Geralius, and also thank you, Mr. KHA. Thank you very much.
And thank you all for coming to the show and staying, spending your time with me. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification.
That the Eritrean opposition, quote unquote, would at some point reach out to the U.S. government and work with them in order to remove Isaias Afwerki. And over time, the U.S. government became very surprised, and we've had private conversations. I've had many conversations. They just became surprised after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years in terms of why is the Eritrean opposition not meeting with us? Why are they not reaching out to us? Why are they not coming to us to work out a strategic plan on how to get rid of Isaias Afwerki? Why are they seemingly talking endlessly amongst themselves, talk, and more talk, and no action? So over time, people in the U.S. government became more and more disgruntled with the Eritrean opposition to the point where it seemed like, okay, these people are never going to get their act together. Now, that's why I think there was an openness within our government, frankly, to look at some other alternative in terms of saying, well, you know, if the Eritrean opposition is incapable of organizing themselves, maybe we can play a role in helping organize them if they can't get their act together. And, you know, President Badarai emerged on the scene. He created the government in exile. It was a perfect match. I connected with President Badarai. We developed a close relationship, a close friendship, and we decided to put all of our force here in Washington behind President Badarai, you know, to support him as now the transitional president of Eritrea, to have a rival government to the dictatorship led by Isaias Afwerki. And it's been an enormous success. Now, I understand that this has created a little bit of controversy. Of course, the Isaias Afwerki is freaking out. He's having his government put out press releases attacking us, attacking President Badarai, because they're scared. They've never seen an opposition leader being so effective. You know, Isaias Afwerki has just been used to opposition leaders defeating themselves, so he never had to worry. Now he sees someone who's effective and has the support of the U.S. government, and they're completely losing it. But you also have some people, some of our dear friends in the opposition who are frankly a little bit jealous of President Badarai, a little bit complaining as to why is he the leader? Why are we not the leaders? And why are we, you know, not having an input in electing the government in exile? We should be involved in choosing the president in exile, and, you know, this and that. And, you know, my response to that, to those people would be, you have 30 years to get your act together. The U.S. government was waiting for you to come to them, to work with them, to get rid of Isaiah Afwerki. You failed to do that. So if you have anyone to blame, you should blame yourselves for not having your act together. You know, if the air train opposition got its act together earlier, I don't think there will be a need for the government in exile, or there will be a need for the U.S. government to be invested in the government in exile. This is being done because the air train opposition has failed the past 30 years. I'm just being very honest about it, and I think people in the opposition need to hear this tough medicine. You know, enough with the nice talk. They need to hear the truth that they failed, and that's why people in Washington, like myself, that's why people in the U.S. government are getting behind President Badarai. If they're upset about that, they need to get their act together, and we could look at what we could do with them once they get themselves together. So I just want to put that out there in a very open and honest way. With President Badarai, we've seen the success. It's public. We're not hiding anything. We saw the meeting with Congressman Sherman, which he tweeted about. We saw the meeting with Ambassador Tibor Nagy, former Assistant Secretary for African Affairs under Trump, and former U.S. Ambassador to Ethiopia. He tweeted about it. And this is just a little bit. We've had many other meetings. Congresswoman Betty McCollum, other members of Congress. We've had a lot of momentum, and this is just the beginning. You're going to see more and more support coming from the U.S. government. I think eventually what's going to happen, especially as the Horn of Africa becomes more unstable, is we already have many people in the government who view President Badarai as the legitimate president, not Isaiah Afwerki. I think once the Horn of Africa moves towards a conflagration, and we see what's happening with Somalia, Somaliland, Ethiopia, the Horn of Africa is a powder keg waiting to explode. But I think, once we get to that point, we're going to push for a more formal recognition by the U.S. government of President Badarai's government. I think the best analogy would be, in this case, for a period of time under the Trump administration, the U.S. government recognized Juan Guaido as the legitimate leader of Venezuela over the Maduro government. So similarly, I think we're going to move in that direction, where at some point the U.S. government's going to more formally proclaim that President Badarai is the legitimate leader of Eritrea and not Isaiah Afwerki. And again, if there are people in the air train opposition who are upset about this, they should blame themselves, because the U.S. government has been chomping at the bit, eager to work with them, and they've never showed up to Washington, D.C. So again, I would say to members of the opposition, either get in line, get it behind President Badarai, because the train is leaving the station. So either support us or stay on the sidelines. What they should not do is try to be bitter about this and make complaints about, why they're not, leading this and why President Badarai is leading this. They should not be doing that. Either they should be supporting us, and a lot of groups are consolidating around President Badarai, or they should be on the sidelines, but they should not be complaining. So, that's the context where we put BIAFRA on the map. Enormous success. December 2nd is going to be the redeclaration of the Biafran state. We're going to get, all the support here in Washington for that. Nigeria is going to be toast, if not formally, but then at least de facto. And similarly with the air train transitional government, we're moving towards a more formal recognition of President Badarai as the legitimate leader of Eritrea and over Isaiah Afwerki. And then, when that happens, we'll decide, what to do from there. So, I just want to give you the overview, and I want to speak very frankly, because I think the time now is to have frank discussions, not to, play around the edges. And so I just want to put everything on the table for you, and I hope this was helpful.
Thank you. Thank you for all of that. My next question is going to be, I'm sorry, I have to go back to this screen. Okay. Are there any peaceful solutions on the horizon or political dialogue for independence, or do you believe it can only be solved by armed conflicts? If armed struggle is the solution, what sort of preparations are on the way? This, Mr.
I think he's asking Prime Minister Simon.
Yes, Prime Minister.
All right, thank you very much for that question. What we're doing now is that, of course, we are open for, peaceful dialogue and all that. As a matter of fact, we are the peaceful one. The Nigerian state is the violent one. And of course, we've actually learned from what happened to others, both in Nigeria and elsewhere in Africa. Africa leaders are the most corrupt, selfish leader you can see anywhere in the world. So they don't actually believe in dialogue and peaceful discussion. So we've seen in Biafra land where peaceful agitators are getting killed, where people who just carry flag to demonstrate on the street are getting shot, straight bullet, killed, massacred in their cold blood. And this has happened from 1999, since the resurgence of the Biafra agitation under Mossab, under the IPOB, Nigeria, where people believe that we're fighting for freedom, only to go to the street, get killed, and they use their pictures and videos to share on the social media. Nigeria is killing us, Nigeria is killing us. I was sitting and watching those things as one Nigerianist that I was. So when I know that Nigeria, it can never ever get better, and I said, instead of wasting my time trying to wait for somebody to come and revive a faulty foundation that I know how rotten it is better that I use everything I have, both my intelligence, my profession, my experience, to support the liberation of Biafra. I joined the struggle. So when I joined the struggle, one of the things I did and promised myself and my God is that under my watch, Nigeria will no longer kill any Biafran and enjoy the killing. So what did we do differently? What we did differently is that, in as much as we believe in peaceful agitation and then also, ready for dialogue, so this whole thing can be resolved amicably in a more democratic way, Nigeria are the one bringing violence against our people, killing them for asking for freedom. So we decided to raise our defense forces, and defense forces will be defending our land against the terrorists in uniform, while we will continue to push to the outside world, to the West, to America, in a more diplomatic, more refined, and more, a political way. So we believe in those approaches, and because of the way Nigeria is and the kind of mentality which is kill, 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 and we understand them very well. And the people that are ruling Nigeria are nomadic people. They are not Nigerians. They are not originally from Niger area. The president himself is not a Nigerian. I don't know whether you people are aware of that. He's not originally from Nigeria. The vice president is not originally from Nigeria. So these are people who do not believe in human dignity and the right to life. And of course, we always love human beings. We protect them. We protect women. We protect children. So what I did under my government was that I will provide that security that Nigeria never provided for people. I will make sure that those who support the Biafra government, and whenever they get killed, Nigeria will pay their defense. So we started our self-defense by raising the Biafra Liberation Army, the Biafra Resistance Fighters, and the Biafra Navy. And today, they are engaging Nigeria terrorists whenever they want to kill, as usual. So this is why it looks as if there is a violent way to our freedom. We are not the one bringing violence. The Nigerian state do it. So whenever they see that they cannot overpower us anymore, they start running around and complaining that we are violent. How are we violent? Were we the one who went to the streets to butcher and kill people that are carrying flags? Nigeria is not only violent to Biafrans. They are even violent to those who believe in Nigeria. You see them killing people for protesting for bad governance. You see them killing those who protested for criminals in the NSAS protest, where they are protesting against the terrorist SAS officials. They get killed and they cover them. At the end of the day, over 1,000 persons were secretly buried in Lagos. So Nigeria state is a terrorist state. Using violent states on them is just to give them some kind of accolade. They are terrorist state, and so anybody supporting Nigeria is actually aiding terrorism. And that's why we are ready to defend ourselves. And so it looks as if there are people who are violent or violent agitators. There is no violent agitator. All we do is to defend ourselves to make sure that Nigeria will never have a field day killing Biafrans again. If you check the past, from 2016 to 2017 to 18, they killed and massacred Biafrans in the field of Biafra, and nobody has been held responsible to date. This is the reason it looks as if we are towing the pathway of violence. And of course, we respond when a government is bringing violence. You do not fold your arms. You will respond with violence. And of course, you need to even have a superior power to be able to withstand the kind of barbarism from the Nigeria state. And that's what Biafra have done very, very well. Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister, Mr. Simon. And this historical and joint interview, this historical and joint interview with the Eritrean government in exile is a milestone in our fight for freedom for the two movements, freedom for Biafra from Nigeria and also for the government of Eritrea in exile and government of Eritrea in exile and of Eritrea inside the dictatorial regime in Eritrea. Can you tell us what do you have in common, both these sisterly governments in exile and the struggle for?
And by ekenekwe na munu kunu sinesele na Igbo media bụ ebe anyị si wetara na ya bụ ozi dị oke mkpa gbasịta maka ya bụ ife Biafran Prime Minister kwuru n'elu akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nke taa. Eke ife nwere ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife ndị a niile okwu gasị dị iche iche dropụrụ anyị ife iche n'elu akwụkwọ na comment section na Igbo media. Ndị be anyị asị na n'Igbo ya adị na ya dị ka echi ada agwụ ọgwụ. Ise. Thank you and God bless.